One, two, three, four, five. Hey, look, it's Momma and McKenna, and they're still alive. They have some stories to share with you, so grab a cold beverage and pull up a stool. They used to have a show called The Morning Drive. The radio's been a big part of their life, but now they're just relaxing, so sit and unwind. With Momma and McKenna, you'll have a good time.
We're back.
Okay. That's what you call it, back. I haven't seen you in a week.
I know. And just before we came on here, I had to share some bad news with you. I don't think I hit record.
I know.
on the last one we did.
On our last session. I know.
So
and God, we were funny. I think we were probably at our funniest at that point. Right?
Yeah, it was the high water mark.
Damn it. And, I think it was so funny that some things are those commercials that are so funny. You don't even know the product. Well, maybe it was God's blessing in disguise that said, you know what? This is too funny for the public's ears. They won't even remember that it's Mom and McKenna on there. So yeah. Yeah. We shut it off. So thank you, God. Thank you, God.
Yeah, right. And who knows, maybe we said something derogatory, or in 30 years, it'll be deemed as, racist or something terrible. And our grandchildren will be judged for the sins of the grandma and the grandfather.
It's not meant to be on there then. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Wow.
So
I'm glad you have such a a good attitude.
I do. Oh, I think I wore a shirt today. Oh, you know what? If you look at my Facebook page, what does it say? It's a smile, it's a frown, or it's a smile. It's like the two semicolons and then whatever. And it depends on you. That's it. It's your choice. That's it. Either you make it a great day, smile about it, or laugh it off and say, F it.
Right. Your perspective, how you interpret things.
Hey, it's not going to go good all the time, but it's the best that's going to happen anyway. So you might as well make the best of it. That's why I think about, everybody says, you always make fun of me because I love the rain and I love the snow. What can I do about it? Let's learn to ski. Let's dance in the rain. There we go. Oh my God. Have you ever seen me on skis? This body does not do well on skis. I've done it a few times and I absolutely love it. But yeah, that it just doesn't work for me.
I love skiing too. And you talked about the shirt you were wearing with I guess some kind of a form of an emoji. There was a thing that came out where the generation, I think you are Generation X.
Nah, yeah, probably. I don't know. No, baby boomer, right? No, what's a baby boomer?
Well, my parents were baby boomers, so I can't remember if they were front end or back end. Maybe front end. So Generation X
baby boomers. Right, go ahead.
I was born in '69. I don't know what I can tell you.
Yeah, then you're Generation X.
Yeah, I'm front end of Generation X. But the Generation Z or whatever the hell the generation is, I'm so old I don't even know the generations anymore. But the crying emoji, the laughing with the tears coming out of their face, they've canceled that.
Why?
Because too many of us are using it. So that the new generation coming up, they're saying we're not going to use it anymore. So now they use just the skull, like a skull. Like if they find something funny, it's just the skull. Because how many times have you heard them say, "Oh my gosh, I'm dying. That's so funny. I'm dying." So skull meaning death, meaning dying. So instead of going, they use a skull. And they've desperately been trying to have their own language to confuse the old people who would ground them and take their phones away in the first place.
As you point to yourself. Well, you know what? I never got into LOL. Isn't that funny? I could never write LOL on anything. I just write ha 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 ha. If you ever get a text from me and you say something funny, I write ha 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 ha. And depending on the severity of the funniness of it, you can get a ha ha. I don't think I've ever just did a ha. I will give everybody the benefit of a ha ha. But if you're downright funny, you will get about 4 ha 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 ha's out of me. That's hysterical. Now that you've hit the mark on being very funny.
That's awesome. Well, I do that too. And I think that was the original. That's where the whole thing started. Like, anybody who types out ha 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 when you can just use it an emoji.
Yeah.
You're old. Yeah. Get off my lawn. What time is the early bird special there, Grandpa? But that takes extra effort. That shows that you literally found something hysterical and go ha 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 ha, ha
Yeah.
as opposed to just find a little picture of a winky face with a tear coming out of this eye. Come on.
Yeah. I
And,
was trying to think of what's that one story I heard the one time about the lady who wrote to her family like like, oh, your grandmother just died, LOL, right? And I guess apparently she thought it meant something completely different, not laugh
oh,
out loud or whatever. Yeah, so she was writing to all the family going, oh yeah, grandma just died, LOL. And the whole story just turned into something just terrible where her daughter had to call her up and say stop with the LOLs and grandma died. That's not what it means. So,
but
oh
that
my
that goes
God.
back to that go it words mean things. I'm not
Yeah.
saying they don't, but it depends on do you give it the power to offend you? Because ultimately that's what happened. I mean, the words are
Yeah.
there and they can mean something, but it's up to you as an individual to decide whether or not you're going to give it the power to either make you laugh, make you upset, make you offended.
I swear to God, if this turns into oh my God, a motivational podcast,
No,
that's what we need to
no,
do.
no. I'm
I
not
bring them
qualified.
up, you bring them down.
You're you're qualified to do the
That.
motivational part.
Yeah.
I'm there to kick you in the shins.
Yeah. And say, oh no, you're not going to be happy today, my friend.
I'll bust you right in the blarneys.
Oh, the Stones. Oh my God. So yeah, so hey, I had some exciting news over the weekend. I don't know if
Yeah.
you heard, huh? How
I
about that?
okay. So again, going back to old people trying to use social media to communicate things, I
Yep.
saw a very vintage photo of your
Uh-huh.
daughter Kaylin
Yep.
and the word engagement, and then a vintage photo of some kid.
Yep.
And I put two and two together and came up with five. And I guess Kaylin's pregnant.
Yeah. Is that what you got out of it?
I
Well,
don't
it was
know.
so funny because I picked them up.
LOL.
Yeah. Ha 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 ha. Well, anyway, so I picked them up at the airport, her and her boyfriend at the time, Josh, at
Okay.
the time. You're waiting for a breakup story now, aren't you?
Yeah.
So anyway, so I picked them up at the airport and we immediately go and they're hungry, fading to nothing. I got all the complaints they're on. This is funny. They flew from Memphis to Charlotte, right? The snow was coming in even in Memphis at that point in the
Right.
morning. Memphis to Charlotte. They finally get to Charlotte and they're like, they have to get something to eat. They've got about an hour and a half to wait for their flight. Well, so they go and they get on, they like, let's go grab something to eat. They on their way to go get something to eat. The desk woman says, hey, you're flying to Philadelphia? And they said, yep, we are. Why don't you get on this flight? We have a flight leaving. We have a couple extra seats. Oh, this is great. We'll get into Philly like 3 hours early. They get on the flight. Doesn't the flight go out, ready to go out, and they have to come back and de-ice, right? Now they have to de-ice twice. In the meantime, their original flight comes in, deboards, flies back out again, and they're still on their flight. And the story, my daughter's very funny at telling the stories, but anyway, there's a lot of curse words involved. By the time they got to Philly at 8 o'clock, we get to the Plow and Stars. They want to grab something to eat. So I called ahead and they said, yeah, they're open till 9. So we sat down and they all ordered drinks. And I looked at her and I said, just glad to be here, huh? She goes, yeah, we have something to tell you. Well, I immediately thought, they're going to tell me that she's pregnant, but she's drinking a White Claw. So everything's going in my mind. Like, I know it probably wouldn't matter to me, but I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, what do you got? And so she pulled her hand out and they got engaged. So, yep. So it was a very exciting weekend. Very
That's
exciting
awesome.
weekend. So she didn't want to tell me over the phone because I don't know where they all came from. All of a sudden, I was like the little emoji with the tears flowing down my face. Uncontrollable. Uncontrollable. I don't know where it all came from. I swear to God. I didn't. And she said, Mom, I knew you'd be like this. That's why we thought we'd come in here to tell you instead of telling you over the phone. So that was great. Oh, you just
Wow.
did the little emoji up there.
I
That
did.
was me. That was me. Yeah. Oh my God. So it was a
Wow.
fun
So
weekend.
have they set a date? Are they moving forward
No,
with this?
because she's heading out to Denver in about 2.5 months to do her next fellowship. So she's going to be done June of 2022, and then they said maybe after that. So she
So
doesn't.
I want to brag on your daughter for a minute. When you and I did the Momma and McKenna show on Cat Country 94,
Yeah.
one of the last memories that I had was I think she was in 8th grade and getting on the bus, and you were at home broadcasting on on a phone. I think it must have been a cell phone because you were chasing the bus down the street going,
Yeah.
"Bye, Kaylin."
Yeah. God bless her.
And she was mortified. She was like, "I want to cancel the Momma and McKenna show. If there's any way I can
If
do
she
that."
could have. Yeah, she would have.
But then
Yeah.
she ended up one of the last times I saw her, and I'm wearing a St. Jude shirt right now.
You are.
I was at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital in Memphis doing a seminar for the Country Cares program,
Yeah.
and Kaylin was a physician at
Yeah.
St. Jude.
Well, she's with Le Bonheur Children's Hospital. She's an emergency room physician there, and that is kind of a feeder hospital, St. Jude's, if that's what you say. You know, you can get diagnosed there, and they take you over to St. Jude's or whatever. But it's only about 2 blocks away. So she's an emergency room physician, and then she went in for her fellowship there. So she's just finishing up a pediatric emergency management fellowship, and she heads out to Denver, Colorado for an ultrasound pediatric fellowship.
Wow.
So yeah, I said. I said to my friend Mary, I was talking to her today. She's Kaylin's godmother, and I said, I think, I know as she's sitting here telling me, she's going, we're gonna head out to Denver and maybe go kayaking and concerts at Red Rocks, and I'm thinking 33 years old, and I should be doing that stuff. What does she do? I should be doing that stuff.
Wait, now back up a second. Are they having concerts at Red Rock now with all the pandemic and mask wearing and social distancing? And is that actually happening? Because if it is, I got to get on the phone with a couple of record labels and get some things going here.
I know. Well, they bought tickets for the end of June. So hopefully they'll see about then. So, and it's wide open out there, probably limited seating if they do something, but yeah. Right. So I think, but we should be out there doing our show from there.
Why not?
And the millions listening, right? The millions listening. Somebody asked me about, I was doing some stuff one time for a friend, and I had to do it like kind of a voice tracking thing. And they said, how do you keep your attitude up? Like what if nobody's listening to us? I said, let me tell you about doing a morning show. First of all, let me give you the hint that if you want to sound like a morning show personality, you got to smile when you're talking because it just raises your spirits up, right? And I said, then even if there's one person listening, you have to imagine that it's thousands listening to you, because if not, you're going to go insane just thinking you're talking to yourself. I'd go insane just thinking I was talking to you. Oh my God, he's the only one listening to me.
I bring that out in people.
Yeah.
Is he the only one? Oh God.
Yeah. But yeah, so no, they're having a good time, and it was a great weekend. We walked around Philly. That was her first time, her fiance now, Josh, his first time in Philadelphia. So we went to Independence Hall, just walked around. We didn't go inside anywhere. Betsy Ross House, Alfred Sally. So just did the nice little tour. Stopped for beers, of course.
Of course. How's Betsy doing, by the way? I haven't seen her in a while.
Yeah, no, Betsy's still crocheting her flag, Yeah. So it was a good weekend in Philadelphia, though. Weather cooperated, and so.
So now, traditionally, when you get married, it's usually held in the bride's hometown, or the bride basically gets to pick where this goes down. So, has there been any talk about that? Are they going to do it in Memphis? Are they going to do it in Wilkes-Barre? Are they going to do it in Philadelphia? What's the deal?
I would see Wilkes-Barre. Just because you're right, and I think he had even mentioned something like that, because we were just kind of joking around, like, what are we going to do? And I think it was more me joking around, like just trying to get some answers out of them. But I said, we're going to do it in Wilkes-Barre. We're going to have a big party and everything. Because I think he kind of said, I figured, it'd be up to you where you want it. So, yeah.
That's big of him. He's a keeper.
Yeah. He is a keeper, right?
Well,
right.
It's interesting. I'm not going to say who, but I know somebody who has been planning a wedding, and they had it, and then they called it off because of COVID, and then they planned it again, and it got to the point where they needed to have 2 weddings because of COVID. They decided, as the young couple, they would be the ones to travel. So they were going to do one here in the United States, and they were going to do another one in Peru.
Oh.
Because the bride's family, most of her aunts and uncles and cousins and whatnot, they're all in Peru.
Yeah.
So here was the dilemma. If you lived in the United States and went to the wedding in the US, they also wanted a good chunk of us to go to Peru for that part of the wedding, because then it would have been lopsided. It would have been her family and very few of the groom's family. And
Yeah.
that would have looked odd and kind of seemed a little off. So there was back and forth tussle about who's going to go, who's going to stay. Peru is not, and it's not like, driving to South Philly. It's
Yeah.
Peru,
Yeah.
and there's pandemic and this and that and everything. So a lot of back and forth, a lot of planning, a lot of figuring out the logistics, and then he decided to call the wedding off. So none of it's happening.
Oh no. But we won't mention any names, and there is a Peruvian involved and everything like that, so nobody will even catch on. No worries.
Nobody knows. No names were mentioned.
With
We
the
are
money
clean.
left over, would they like to sponsor our show? I'm out forever looking for sponsors.
So you have a different background up tonight, right?
No, I don't know.
Is it
I
the
just
same one?
I took my flag down.
Okay.
My motivational flag. It's laying over there.
You
Yeah.
said, 'cause we were going to try this a little earlier in the week, and you said, I'm going to absolutely attack this place, and I'm going on a deep cleaning. And
Yep.
you gave us a tour on one of our previous
Well,
casts.
no, I didn't, because our first one that you and I did, we didn't use any video. So remember, me and you toured it. I held
Okay.
up the camera, but I will tell you, you know what's behind me?
Is that the table?
That's my dining room table hanging on the wall back there.
Hanging on the wall.
Because so here's what happened. In the midst of all the celebration, so this was a really cute thing that Kaylin and Josh did. Josh called Kaylin's dad for permission to ask her to marry him.
Good
So
move.
he knew before me, right?
Good move.
So yeah. So I said, how long did your dad know? She said, well, he did want to call and ask about a week ago. Like they got engaged about 2 weeks ago, I guess. And then her dad came down to celebrate with us because he's up in Wilkes-Barre, and he brought a case of lobsters with him.
Case of Wilkes-Barre lobster.
A case
That's
of lobsters.
premium.
And
right
so
out of the Susquehanna.
I still have about 6-pound lobsters in my freezer. I love lobsters.
Like the full lobster or
big
the meat?
Lobster tails.
But
big lobster tails.
Do you have they have the claws on them still, or just
just the tails? Just the tails. Let me explain to her. Now I'm going to go again. Ha 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 ha. You're funny. Anyway, so what happened was, of course, my place, like I said, it's a loft. It's just a big room, and that's my dining room table hanging on the back there. So I had to pull the dining room table down, and that we dressed it up. And Kaylin and Josh made the lobsters and fed us, and so yeah, it was good. It was a good celebration. Mm-hmm.
Now I know. One of your quirks.
Quirks. Is that what we're going to call them? Go ahead, quirks. Here we go. I want to hear this.
I want to put my emoji back up. Here we go.
What's my quirk?
You were infamous for rearranging the rooms and the feng shui of a room all the time. So it was never, when I'd come to your house, it was never the same
Never.
way.
When I clean, I rearrange stuff because then I get the deep cleaning in, but it's quite often. And what did Kevin used to say? Can't turn a light off. Never enter our house in the dark because you're going to trip.
Yes.
But I do. I rearrange a lot. I like that. And you know what? It just makes, for some reason in my mind, maybe it is just the room looks so much bigger than for a little bit. And then I'll rearrange again. But I do have to say, in this place here, it's kind of hard to rearrange. I have my certain ways to do it, but because I have a fireplace in the middle of the whole room, so that kind of has to stay.
In a loft where you put your dining room table on a wall. How many options do you have? It's like a Rubik's cube.
I don't have many. I don't have many. But when I do, I either push the couch closer to the TV or pull it back from the TV. So that's one of the things.
Yeah, we're in the middle of rearranging everything too, which is one of the reasons why the last couple of times we've done this, I'm in a different location all the time because I can't be at home in my basement. I think we talked about this the last time, or maybe this was the cast that disappeared. So we got contractors and painters, and we're laying carpet in, and we've done like the major thing. We lived in this house for 16 years with now 3 grown boys, and I'm 6 feet tall, and I'm the smallest one in the house. They're all 6'2", 6'4", 6'1". I'm the tiny guy.
Yeah.
And big guys are gonna make big problems. They're gonna
big poops.
That too. Yeah, we replaced several toilets.
Yeah, I'm sure you did.
It got
I
to
know
the
the
point
size
where
of me, and I've replaced a few.
this there's not enough Clorox in the world to fix this one. Out it goes.
Yep. Oh my
So,
God. Yeah.
but we replaced an HVAC and gutters and doors and windows and appliances, but we didn't do the aesthetic stuff. So we wouldn't paint the walls. We just let them just be walls. So you have all the little holes where the picture looked good there, but now it comes down. Now you have
Oh
a hole in the
yeah.
wall, that kind of stuff. And so we're in the process of doing all like the eye candy crap,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
And I can't be there because there's dust and paint. When I left the house today, the paint smelled like feet. Like,
Oh. What
like
kind of paint are you using?
I don't know. But I hope it goes away because I don't want the house smelling like feet. It looks good, but God Almighty, it smells like feet in here. Come on.
Oh my God. I
Like I
can't
like
even
the smell. Like
imagine.
there's some people who hate the smell of gasoline. I
Yeah.
like the smell of gasoline.
Hmm.
And I've experienced some paint. Like I remember when I was in 7th grade, magic markers. They were fantastic. I would just, I think I have one right here. So of course,
Oh my God.
the Sharpies don't smell anymore. I don't know if they ever did, but you remember the big thick magic
Yep.
markers when we were kids? I went to a Catholic school, and the Monsignor of the parish was hitting like a jubilee or some kind of
50th
high,
year. There you go.
it was a
Yeah.
high water mark for his career.
Yeah.
So they took all of us, the entire student body of this school, from kindergarten all the way up to 8th grade, and we like would take half of our school day and work on a pageant that we were going to put on, and they were
Uh-huh.
going to have it at the what's the it's not the Kirby Center, but there was another like Susan B. Anthony Center or something in Wilkes-Barre.
Well, there was that one. It was right on.
Dorothy Dart.
Oh, Dorothy Dixon Dart Center.
That's the one.
You went to St. Al's, right?
Yes. So
Yeah.
that we rehearsed this on the St. Al's campus, and then we moved it to the Dorothy Dixon Dart Center. Well, I got kicked out of the Glee Club because I can't sing.
Yeah.
Never said I could. They didn't have an Irish dancing portion of this
Yeah.
Jubilee session. So they parked me and about 3 other guys, and we were the only ones in the school with like one teacher. And we found these markers, and we just
Oh my
so high off
God.
these damn magic markers. I think it made me the man I am today.
Yeah, I think it's a little nuts, right?
And
A little crazy.
I
There you
vaguely
go.
remember the Jubilee, but I'm sure it was wonderful.
Yeah. Oh my God. Those were so much fun. Yes, St. Al's. I went to St. John's and then that closed. I went
Where was
all
St.
over.
John's?
St. John's was on Main Street in Wilkes-Barre.
Okay.
Right down from oh my God, Courtright Street, because I went to Courtright School for kindergarten. That closed. I went to St. John's 1st and 2nd grade, then to Dan Flood. Yeah.
You
And then
shut them all
Sacred
down.
Heart.
You shut them all down. I think
I
Sacred
did.
Heart might still
I think
be around,
that,
but I'm
you
not
know
sure.
what? Once again, like Mary broke the mold. There we go. Broke the mold, shut it down.
She's
The
gone.
nuns
You
would
can
go
shut it
crazy.
down now.
The nuns would go crazy. Oh, here she comes. I do have to say, I had 5 older brothers, and I swear to God, I was the worst out of all of them. Between my mouth and my brothers didn't curse. They're the nicest guys in the world. They never said anything bad about anybody. I'm not that one. I don't say anything bad about anybody, but I do like to curse a bit.
Give us one of your favorites.
What? No. No, not random. Give me a reason. Give me a reason.
I got to bring it out. Got to bring it out in you. Oh, we'll figure
Yeah.
it. But before too long, we'll be bringing it out.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Oh my God. Did you guys, when you were saying then they for his 50th Jubilee or whatever, did they ever take you guys to Ghost Town the Glen, or was that closed by the time you got to be?
Yeah. Okay.
that
Well,
age?
yeah. They called it Ghost Town in the Glen. Then didn't they switch it over to
Rocky
Rocky
Glen.
Glen?
I think it started as Rocky Glen, then it went to Ghost Town, then it went back to Rocky Glen.
Yeah. So we
Yeah.
went one school trip. I think we went there.
Yeah.
And I remember my mom was a big fan of roller coasters. So
Me too. Yeah.
she convinced me to just go. So I did. And there was a friend of mine. He was a year younger. His name was Kevin Murray. And he was terrified to go on the roller coaster. It was I forget what the roller coaster at Rocky Glen was called, or Ghost Town. I forget what it's called, but it was the big wooden roller coaster.
I think.
So my mother said, come on, all you need to do is look ahead. If you look further down the track, you know what's coming and you're not going to be scared. You can kind of make peace with yourself.
Yeah,
We're going to go down a big hill. And there's nothing you can do about it. So shut the hell up and sit your ass down.
yeah.
So she convinced him to go on this thing. And I was like, yeah, cool, whatever. Well, I swear I wasn't in the back end. I was probably somewhere in the middle of the pack of the roller coaster, but I swear I could almost feel like it fishtailed a little bit. And when we got off, he was white as a ghost.
Yeah.
And I thought he was kind of sitting near us. Maybe he was further in the back, but he said, it jumped the track. It jumped the track. And then sure enough, as soon as we get off, the worker guys are walking up. They closed the ride down. They're walking
Oh,
up.
did they?
And he's like, your mother tried to kill me. Your mother tried to kill me. So for the rest of my career at St. Al's, anytime Kevin Murray saw my mother, she tried to kill me.
You were almost a non-mama.
Yeah, right. Yep.
My God.
And then didn't the guys at KRZ, didn't they used to broadcast? Wasn't there a booth set up there?
I think so. Yeah.
I remember Bill Sheridan, and I'm not sure if I'm even friends on Bill Sheridan's Facebook or not, but Jumpin' Jeff, I've had conversations with him about this.
And Jim Rising.
Jim Rising,
Jim was there at the time.
Right. But I was maybe, I don't know, 11 years old, 12 years old. And I wanted Bill Sheridan to play a song for me. And he gave me the brush off, because DJs don't play what you ask them to. Oh, I'm revealing too much now.
I know.
But
I know. All depends what the record companies are giving you.
Sheridan hung up on me and I was like, I swear, I'm going to find you. And I saw the KRZ booth and he was broadcasting there. But when I got there, well, lo and behold, he wasn't really there.
He was voice tracking before voice tracking.
Yes, he was voice tracking before voice tracking.
Yeah.
Smoking mirrors.
Yeah.
Radio.
Now your mother, is she Mary Teresa McDonough?
Mary Teresa McDonough.
Yeah. Isn't that funny? Because now I'm Mary Teresa McKenna. Doc Medic's mom is Mary Teresa Medic.
What is the deal with the Mary Teresa?
She's an Irish girl too.
Wow.
Isn't that something?
Wow.
I think I wanted to be a nun when I was growing up. Just because.
Now that I think about it, I'm Michael Teresa.
Look at you.
Look at me.
Teresa name.
I'm Michael Teresa. Hello.
Ha 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 ha. No, I ready. This because ha. There you go. You've just brought me to my low. Ha. There we go. Oh my God. Yeah, so much fun. But I miss those days of Rocky Glen, and you always knew. I don't think we did it much then because we were on the school bus or my parents went, but it was so close to Old Forge for pizza, which my favorite stuff between, Colarusso's and Avoca, or Colarusso's is in West End Road in Hanover Township. That's one of my favorites, but Arcaro and Janelle's and Ravello's, Salerno's. I love all those pizzas.
Is there any good pizza in Philly? I mean, everybody talks about the cheesesteaks in Philly, but no good pizza.
No. I think when you grow up there and you have our pizza and our wings, I just can't. I don't like to go anywhere else for them. But we've got a lot of great foods here in Philadelphia. Believe me, Nick's Roast Beef makes this incredible a breakfast cheesesteak, which is and their cheesesteak's really good. Their cheesesteak's good, but they make this breakfast cheesesteak or pork sandwiches. That's what Philly's known for the most too, is pork sandwiches.
What about Fosnots? Have you ever heard of a Fosnot?
I didn't have them this year, but I've had them usually on a Fat Tuesday. Is that when they're served? Yeah. I'd never heard of them. You're talking to the ultimate fat kid here. That's who you're talking to. I don't pass up a donut. There's not a donut I haven't liked.
When I work in Harrisburg for the most part now and grew up in Wilkes-Barre 100 miles up the road. I never heard of a Fosnot until I came 100 miles south.
Right. Now, what's the name of the bakery over there? Because I know a lot of people that get them from Harrisburg. There's this incredible bakery in Harrisburg that sells them. I can't think of the name of it.
Wow.
I will get that name. I
mean, I know there's several churches that will make them.
Oh yeah.
And the ladies are in there making them, a couple of days before Fat Tuesday.
Yeah.
And then they'll sell them. But then, now they're in the grocery stores, and the grocery stores they're muddy in the waters, and they're starting to call them donuts. They're not donuts, they're Fosnuts. And they're not, I don't know why I'm going in the Irish accent.
Why do you keep going back to the Irish accent? You're talking, I don't think Fosnacht is what is that a German?
Pennsylvania Dutch or German?
Dutch?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think.
But yeah, it's funny. We used to talk about my favorite things. I know I don't get them much down here. I hear that if I travel into the suburbs, I'll get them. But up in Northeast PA, we have a lot of bazaars, and they're like the parishioners, and you either got the Slovak church, the Catholic, the Irish church, the German church, and you can't beat the potato pancakes up there.
Yeah, no way.
Right.
They're the
And
best.
so I was wondering like how they were made. And everybody said it's like the women with their sweating and everything like that. Everything's dropping into it.
Yeah.
And though you just can't beat them. You can't buy them anywhere. I miss bazaars. And of course, COVID knocked those out last year. So
Right.
hopefully this year they'll be back and I'll get to. I like in the Citizens Voice of the Times Leader, I forget which one, but they put the listing of the bazaars at the beginning of the summer. And you plan your weekends of how you can get to them. Yeah.
How many bazaars did you guys play when you had the band?
All the time.
Yeah.
We played so many bazaars, and then the fire departments, Hanover Township Fire Department used to have a huge one, and we could be there 3 nights. That was our big thing. And then Kirby Park, we'd play Kirby Park for all of the 4th of July festival, or some of the cherry blossom festivals down on Public Square. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. We were busy. I love that. What a life.
It's interesting because I think every area has that. When I lived in California and I was only there for about a year and a half, they had a festival every week. It was the lemon festival, the cherry festival, the avocado festival, the pineapple festival. If they'd find a fruit, they'd have a festival for it, and they'd have it scheduled. And it got mind numbing. And then California also confused me because they were so wigged out. You could have shootings on the freeway, mudslides, earthquakes, massive fires that were going to take out hundreds of thousands of acres, potential tsunamis, but God forbid there was a thunderstorm. There were EAS like warnings, take cover, thunderstorm coming. I'm saying thunderstorm. You're afraid of a little noise. You don't care that the side of the mountain just fell on the 101. What is wrong with you?
Well, see, if the side of the mountain fell on the 101, I don't think they expected it. At least with thunderstorms, I think what they're thinking is that they're warned now about it, because with rain, you get mudslides. So things are going to start happening. So that's when they get it. It's the unknown that people can't do anything about. But my God, the rains are coming. Take cover.
When I was a little kid, if a thunderstorm happened, my aunts and uncles said, "Oh, the angels are bowling." I was like, "Oh, okay." Was that a strike?
We used to have to go out. I think about, I hope to God I'm not the only one that ever did this. But do you remember during really good rainstorms and thunderstorms, my mother used to let us put our bathing suit on and we go sit in the curb. What? And I thought, and we really did. I guess we did have it all, because that in our mind was the best thing. There's a car parked behind you and there's one up there, but you go sit in the curb and you can like sit there and let the rain would just be flushing down. And oh my God.
You don't need a bath that night either. You're
I
good to
swear
go.
to God, what fun we had just sitting there and laying down. The water was just rushing over you. Oh, I guess I was the only one doing that, right?
Man, and so you'd hear that phrase like, "Oh, didn't your parents teach you the good sense to get in out from the rain?" No, my parents told me to put a bathing suit on and go sit on the curb.
And you know what? There can be my reason that I just love the rain, because it was always fun when it rained. Or you knew there was going to be a good time out in that curb. A couple rocks in your bathing suit when you got in the house. Oh yeah.
Well, if you're on the beach, it's sand in your swimsuit, and if you're sitting in Wilkes-Barre on the curb, you get some rocks, maybe some asphalt.
Rocks. Oh my God. And I couldn't tell you how many times I used to stick little pebbles up my nose. That's what I used to get in trouble for.
What? Wait, why? Why?
I don't know why. I would take a pebble and just stick it up my nose. I just liked it. But then my mother would have to fish it out. So once again, let's go back to my childhood and find out why I am the way I am.
There's a lot to unpack.
Isn't that funny? Just sticking little pebbles up my nose. I got in trouble for it. I don't think I did it many times because I got in too much trouble.
My sister took, you remember the Bic pen would have that tiny little blue cap at the top, or a black cap, depending on the color. Somehow she managed to pop that off and jam that little cap all the way up her nose. And it went into like her septum. So there was a trip to the ER.
Yeah.
I think there's photographs somewhere in my attic.
Oh my God.
My little sister and her little pug Irish nose with a big cap. not
Mary Ellen.
Mary Ellen. Not the cap that would go over the writing part, but the other end. It would just that tiny little thing, you'd pop it off. Yeah. Hey, this looks good. I'm going to shove this right up my nose.
Oh, that end piece.
The
that
end
flat
piece. Yeah. Not the part that you would cover up the writing part, but the other end piece.
Yeah.
I guess it fit perfectly.
Obviously,
about the size of my nose.
It fit up there. It just didn't come back out again. It was a nice plug me. Oh my God. Yeah, the stuff we used to do when we were kids is crazy. You don't see any of that anymore. I
Mm-mm.
miss that. Yeah.
Yep. Now,
Um,
now the kids these days are telling us what emojis we can use.
yeah.
We can't wear skinny jeans anymore. When's the last time you wore skinny jeans?
Oh, me? I think that's all I I think first of all, I don't think any jeans I ever had were called skinny jeans. Reinforced tough skins, reinforced knees, plus size. Get them at Sears on the the clearance rack.
That's right.
Go pick something out nice for yourself, Mary. There you
Mhm.
go. Maybe your brothers have some nice hand-me-downs. I didn't know. You know that 5 older brothers, and I'm the only girl. And by the time I came along, I think they were just done, done paying attention. So when my brothers used to walk over to Johnny Wright the barber's, well, you're going to take your sister with her and get her a haircut too. So I had the high and tight until I was about 8. Yeah, I was looking good.
It was the BOGO special.
There you go.
Buy 5, get the 6th one free.
Yep, you might as well keep it high and tight on Mary. There you go. Yep, looking good in the crew cut. Oh my God.
You've got to
Yeah,
find some pictures of that.
I
That's
know.
funny.
Yeah. I'll have to show you my kindergarten picture. I have it somewhere. Yeah, I'll have it for next time.
All right. I think we're going to wrap this one up. I'm not sure where we're at. I didn't look at the timer, but I think we're at almost a half an hour. And
Right.
I hope we got this, because if we're sitting here just talking and everything is muted, I'm going to be very, very upset.
All right. Well, bye-bye. Take care.
All right. Well, bye-bye.
Haha.
Ha 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 ha. I got to put the emoji up one more time.
Yeah.
I'll do
There
this
you
one.
go. Oh. All right. Well, thanks. It was great talking to you. I'll talk to you next week.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Gracias, obrigado, domo arigato, spasiba, merci beaucoup. Danke, grazie mille.